Very honored and grateful to be with you today. The art of giving, a journey from Da to Da. As a young boy, I loved stories. I do still love stories. As an adult, I loved telling stories. I do still love telling stories. Today, I tell you a story of my journey from the art of Ta to the art of Da. We, the Keralites, the Malayalis, are very fond of the word Ta. Ta in Malayalam means to give, but mainly give to me. I know today not only Malayalis, all humans are fond of this word because it is something embedded in the very nature of a human person. I, as a Malayali, as a Keralite, grew up with the art of giving, the art of Ta. As a child, I collected everything possible: pebbles and stones, leaves and petals, paper cuttings and stickers, stamps and coins, etc., etc. For your kind information, even now I keep collecting. But collection of a different sort, like flags and coins of the countries visited, and figures and statues of owls. Our collection is something unique. One day, my aunt gifted me a bookmark with a beautiful write-up entitled Art of Giving. I read through it with all my curiosity, but I was a bit disappointed because, yes, it was about art of giving, but not about art of Ta, but art of Da. As we know, Da in both Sanskrit and in Latin means to give, but mainly to give to others. And the write-up ended with a beautiful axiom: to live is to love is to give, and giving begets joy. In fact, I was a bit confused because I thought the art of Ta gives us more joy than anything else. Therefore, I went to my aunt and asked, "Auntie, tell me, what is this all art of giving?" As she was busy, she told, "My dear, forget it. You will know when you grow up." Indeed, it was just a beginning of my journey from the art of Ta to the art of Da. The wheel of time, Kalachakra, rolled on. When I joined for +2 at St. Xavier's College, Ranchi, I was introduced to the famous theory, the law of diminishing utility. I'll clearly remember how Professor Chaubey introduced me the impact of the principle of diminishing marginal utility. The law of diminishing marginal utility states utility, which is derived from a successive unit of commodity, declines. And he explained, we all love to collect things. We all love to amass wealth. But there are certain things like food, drink, and even sex. When given in plenty, in abundance, it produces boredom. And boredom leads to melancholy and despair. Even it can kill our very taste. This became all the more evident when later I studied Shakespeare's famous comedy, The Twelfth Night, the opening speech by the king Orsino reads like this: "If music be the food of love, play on. If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it, that self-feeding the appetite may sicken and so die." Indeed, it was a revelation of the negative impact of the art of tongue. Today, for instance, ask the marketing managers, how important is the law of diminishing marginal utility? Because it correlates with the declining price index and the demand of the customers. That's why they invest a lot of money for ads explaining not only the what and the how of ever new products, but also the why. For example, why Apple iPhone 10 is better than iPhone 8. Or, for example, why Apple or Nokia is better than Nokia or Apple. After the +2, I joined at Dharmaram College, where one of the majors was philosophy. My professor of philosophy, Dr. John Brittle, a visiting faculty from the Fordham University, USA, introduced me to yet another facet of the art of tongue. He said, there are certain things like knowledge, power, whatever be, we are not satisfied. We are not happy. We can never satisfy our desire, our trishna, craving for them. The more we have, the more we try to possess or get. And if we don't, that can lead us to sadness, melancholy, despair. And perhaps take the stand of Hamlet, his famous existential soliloquy. To be or not to be, that's the question. About 2,500 years ago, Buddha said, desire, trishna, is the root cause of suffering. I quote, I teach suffering, its origin, cessation, and end. These four noble truths formed the very essence of Buddhism. The four noble truths: the truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, the truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. Desire, the art of tongue, poses a threat to one's own existence. Indeed, it was eye-opener. I started rethinking the art of giving, the art of tongue. And the bookmark which my aunt gifted me haunted me with this vision. To live is to love is to give, and giving begets joy. So I wanted to change my stand from the art of ta to the art of da. It's not simply a change of words, but a change of mindset. Yes, I was in the pursuit of joy of giving. Call it by chance or providence. I came across the famous message of Mother Teresa of Calcutta to the 4th UN Women's Conference in Beijing, China. She wrote, the special power of loving that belongs to a woman is seen most clearly when she becomes a mother. And this wonderful gift brings joy to the whole world, men and women alike. For a moment, I thought of my own mother, Mrs. Anna, who died at a younger age of 33, enduring the pain and suffering of childbirth. I salute all mothers. I salute all mothers who give her life by giving birth to a child. For them, no jobs, no positions, no places, no sense of freedom are more than the joy of giving. What an art of giving, the art of dhanam, gift. The power of the art of giving, the art of the strengthened me in my daily life. And even simple though made a difference in the celebration of an Easter Sunday in the famous Onze Lieve Vrouw van Troostkerk, that is, the Church of the Our Lady of Consolation in heavenly Belgium. It was a special occasion. Many parents, along with the children, gathered for the Easter Sunday celebration. After the Paschal lamp was lit, the main celebrant, Father Jan, came down to kindle the candles. As he was kindling the candles of the people, I noticed in the first pew there were two kids, a boy and a girl. They had no candles. When they saw the little candles in others' hands, they looked around, tapped the thigh of the papa, and asked. And papa seems to be helpless. Spontaneously, I moved from the pew 3 to the first pew and handed over my candle to the little girl. She was so happy. She looked at my face and smiled. A smile so attractive, perhaps a thing more divine than human. I came back to my position. That was not the end of the story. The celebration went on with all its formalities. When the time came for Pax Christi, for wishing the peace of Christ, I saw the young girl rushing to me. She took hold of my hand and said, Frere van Christus in Flemish, peace of Christ. And I replied, peace of Christ. My dear, the turn of around of the events was something unimaginable in such a situation. Given the context, I was the only non-white in the entire assembly. Of course, I did give a candle, which did not cost me much. But I received a precious gift, a smile, and a handshake of the family which I did not know. The power of the art of dhan can change the heart or mind of people irrespective of their creed, their sex, or their nationality. Give and you will receive was thrust upon me in a very dramatic way on April 22nd, 2016. The Black Day in the annals of Belgium, as reported by the Belgian Prime Minister, Mr. Charles Michel. On that day, Brussels airport was rocked by a series of bomb blasts. I arrived at the airport at 7:15 a.m. and lined up for the check-in. Few minutes before 8 o'clock, I completed all the formalities and walked towards the security check-in. As I was walking ahead, all of a sudden, I heard an explosion just in front of me. To be frank, I did not know what was going on. But at the same time, I heard people yelling and crying and shouting, bomb, in Flemish, bomben, kneel down. Unfortunately, because of damaged knees, I couldn't kneel down. I turned back, walked swiftly. Alas, to my great surprise, I would say embarrassment, I saw a young baby on the floor crying. I didn't have a second minute to think. I sat down and helped the baby. At that time, when the second explosion, ripping through the counters, and people started running amok. I saw debris and human bodies scattered over. And the debris fell on my vest and my head. But thank God, we both were saved. Immediately, the security men came in. We were all safely evacuated the runway, and from there to the sports centrum Saventum. While being consoled and comforted at the sports center Saventum, I asked myself a question. Had I not sat down and helped, what would have been my plight? Definitely, I should thank the child angel who saved my life. My dear, the art of the. Jesus said, give and you'll receive. I gave, I received. As Winston Churchill said, we make a living by what we get. But we make a life by what we give. My submission to you today, the give should become a mantra, a breath of every human person, which alone can bring hope and consolation to the teeming millions who live at the peripheries of the world. My submission today, the art of the art of giving, the art of gift, Dhanam, should become a habit of life, which alone can ensure the survival, the sustenance, and the fulfillment of humanity and our Mother Earth. May I have the privilege to conclude with a prayer, my journey, a prayer from St. Francis of Assisi, of course with some adaptations. Make me a champion of the art of giving. Make me a champion of the art of giving. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is despair, let me bring hope. Where there is darkness, only light. And where there is sadness, ever joy. For in giving to all men that we receive, in giving to all men and women that we receive. Thank you. It's an honor to be with you. May God bless you.